Camille, I'd just like to greet each and every one of you and greet you on this fine day, Indigenous Peoples Day, a day to take time out to acknowledge all of our ancestry of our Indigenous peoples and our earth-based medicines, our culture, and as well as all of the sacred sites, sacred instruments, and teachings that make us who we are, uh, that we've been taught throughout our lives uh, to have a good sense of our identity. And so I'm grateful that we could have a time to do this. I'm grateful I was invited to be a part of it. And I'd just like to acknowledge uh, every one of our peoples throughout the world, Indigenous peoples, who have coexisted throughout the world and have been able to uh, maintain our existence so that we could continue to be here today. And what we do, how we take care of ourselves, and how we take care of our mother, the earth, and all of the divine creations is what's going to assure that our future generations are going to be able to come into this world and be able to live here and enjoy all of the divine creations that have been put here for us to use and to live by and to live with and to live through. And so I just like to give thanks and give acknowledgement to the good creator that has given us all these beautiful life-giving elements. I want to give thanks for the water, give thanks for the air, give thanks for the fire, the sun, and give thanks for our Mother Earth, all these divine creations that give us our everyday life. Giving thanks too for all of the plant life, our earth-based medicines that we use, and the ones that sustain us, nourishing us as our food. And also for all of the animal life, the four-legged, the winged, the water life, all of these life forms that we share our existence with. And we also depend on them for our survival. And so I'd like to acknowledge them and give thanks for them. And as well as to give thanks and acknowledge all of our ancestors. We all came from our ancestors that have walked on this Mother Earth from time immemorial. And they made a way for us. And I'm grateful that they made a way for us to be able to be here today, to be able to share our lives together and to acknowledge one another in a good way with a good heart, good mind, good spirit, and to feel this pride, to feel this sacred connection with our ancestry and how they took care of things and they passed that knowledge on to us so that we would be able to live in this life here today. Now, I'd like to also ask a blessing on all of our children, all of our grandchildren, all of the generations, the future generations that are yet to come, the ones we will not see, so that they might be able to continue to walk this good road, to be able to have this knowledge of who they are as Indigenous people and that good sacred relationship with these divine creations, so that their future generations will be able to live in this world just as we have. And then also I'd like to acknowledge and give thanks for all of the sacred sites, all of the places that were created and that have these special energies and healing places and places where we go to seeking guidance, seeking wisdom, seeking knowledge and teachings that would help us in living this life in a good way and developing our relationship with each other to continue on, to be able to continue to take care of all of the things that were passed on to us, the waters that we come from, the places that we go to when we're seeking solitude. We go to these places, the places we go to when we want to connect with our ancestors, when we walk on the earth, when we touch the water, when we feel the air, the breeze, the wind on our faces, and those connections that we have when the fire is lit and we're praying to it and we look at it and it's lighting our path and it's making a way for us to be able to walk this road of life in a really good way as Indigenous people. And then too, I'd like to acknowledge all of our leaders, our Indigenous leaders throughout the world, many of them who have given up their lives. They've spent their lifetimes upholding that moral authority to take care of our people, to take care of us, and to be able to step forward and defend us, speak for us, pray for us, sing for us, dance for us. They did all those things and they showed us the way and are still continuing to show us the way. And this Indigenous People Day didn't just start happening recently. It's been going on from time immemorial. Taking time out every day. Take time out to acknowledge the life that we have, to give thanks for the water, give thanks for the air, give thanks for the sun, the fire, give thanks for Mother Earth, give thanks for our life and our loved ones, our relatives, all of our elders, all of our leaders, all of our spiritual leaders, all of our medicine men and women, giving thanks for them. Because it's through the teachings and the knowledge, the wisdom that they've carried and have passed on that we continue to have it. And so just like to encourage everyone to acknowledge each other, extend a nice wave, extend a good heartfelt smile, greeting each other. Even though you may not be acquainted with these people, you could make their day very special to be acknowledged. You could make them you could lift up their spirit if they're downhearted, if you greet them in a good way. And also, during this time, many people will be taking out their sacred bundles, their sacred pipes, their sacred tobacco, their sacred medicines, sacred feathers. They'll be using them and giving acknowledgement to our people and our ways, our teachings about how to live in this world in a good way. And then too, all of the different kinds of struggles that our people are faced with today. The protection of all of our sacred sites, all of our earth-based medicines, all of our sacred waters throughout the world. all of the children, the ones that don't have a mother or a father, they're orphans. Someone might treat them kind, might smile at them, give them food, give them some water, encourage them, give them hope in life. Likewise, to our elders that might be in nursing homes, our relatives that are in the hospitals, that are struggling, that are suffering right now. They might receive a good blessing today just by us coming together, just by us taking a moment of this day to acknowledge our lifeblood. Maybe through that way, Creator might have pity upon these relatives that are suffering, that are sick, that might be out on the streets, homeless, might not have anything to eat. They might be blessed here today. And likewise, to each and every one of the good people that have joined together, putting our thoughts, our feelings, our words together on this good day, Indigenous Peoples Day. And so each one of you, may you be blessed this day with good health, happiness in your everyday walk of life. And may all of the things that are in need of a prayer, people calling out in their greatest moment of need or greatest moment of joy, their prayers could be answered and recognized. And if there's anything I left out, I ask that you could take care of it, just like you always do. I appreciate this time, this moment, my life, my home, my family, my children, my grandchildren, all of my relatives. And I have these things right now to say to you and ask that you could receive it and forgive me for my shortcomings. Anything I might have left out, you could take care of it. So I say this much to you here at this time for all my relations. Esculi, 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 Esculi.